Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Switzer now to return. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Now, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
On the counter, here's Bell. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second down, it's Bell. Gets past one man. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Rashawn Perriman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Oh, yeah!
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
7:34. Now,
on play action, it's Carr. Letting one go deep for Roberts. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they certainly didn't waste any time throwing some deep passes here. But the defense, it wasn't unexpected. They told their secondary, be ready. You're going to be tested all night by this team.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Carr gives to Richard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Low. Get set.
Throwing his car on third down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now, you ready? You got 56 there.
Now a handoff to Richard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Richard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Rudolph looking to throw. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Rudolph now to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Here's Rudolph off play action. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Open man, Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. From the red zone now, Rudolph. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. Monday, down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Carr now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And complete, right side to Cook. The Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top as an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
29.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 1st downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now, 180. We're good. You're mine.
Carr now on 1st down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Down, 180. Hurry, get set, fella.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
You got 56 there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Shotgun now for Carr. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 1st down, Rudolph. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Again, it's Bell. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Go, go. Get set, get set. Rush in, rush in.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On the ground, Richard. Big hold at the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 83 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Switzer now to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Leopard!
to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So here we go with the onside kick. They'll need a recovery and a touchdown. A field goal does them no good. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
This is Richard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Carr going to throw here. And Cook has it left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ballgame. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Richard. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, bring it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. To Vecchio now to kick this one away. Switzer now to return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Now Rudolph. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his off.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Raiders, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try again.
Come here, sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, yeah. You from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. Yeah. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. Yeah. I go in back of the. They all from that. Yeah. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. Yeah. I go to bet on bet. I got the beam in the flats. I got it in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, don't matter. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the Jordan, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran.